How's it going, everybody? This is BeatTheBush. This is Pion Power's Flex AC EV charger. This is the 40 amp version, so it's fast enough to be used at home. Today I'm going to put it through its paces, check out the app, and see how well it works. They even built this little cradle for it so you can mount it on the wall, and you can plug it into your regular home socket for 12 amps or this 14-50 plug at 40 amps. Now I actually don't have a 14-50 plug, but I do have a 6-50 plug right over here. And if you look closely, the 6-50 does not have the neutral prong. There are 3 metal things sticking out on this one and 4 sticking out of this one. The extra one is neutral. So you can just yank it right off like this. A nice firm pull, and then you can plug a compatible adapter right in. I'm gonna use this 6-50 to 14-50 converter. It's a short cable. Remember, I'm only testing this one time and I'm watching it the whole time it's charging. If it overheats or whatever, I'm going to stop it right away with the circuit breaker. But for now, I can just plug it in here and this end over here. And because the Tesla is the only AV I have to convert between this J1772 connector to this NACS connector, the Tesla connector. Just plug it right in. And in the manual, they actually don't recommend you to use an external connector, liability's sake. So in the end, you have to follow the manufacturer's instructions. Otherwise, they can't guarantee that it will work well because you are using your own aftermarket adapter. The charger includes this cable holster that you can attach to the wall, a bunch of drywall anchors and screws. This type of cable and holster hanger I've actually seen many times. It looks just the same. And if you have the NACS connector plugged in here, it will no longer fit in this holster. See? It just pops right off. So if you use this connector, what I find myself doing is I just hang the cable right on the holster like this, and I never plug it into this hole. However, if you don't have that, this does definitely fit right on top like that. Because I have this weird setup, I'm not gonna be mounting it onto the wall. Let me show you guys the instructions real quick. They want you to have the bottom of the charger at least 1,250 millimeters above the ground. That's about 4'1" from the floor. That's right about where this first socket is. So they want it to look something like this. And the cable holster is underneath. That means they want the 14-50 plug to be right over here. But most likely you're not gonna have a plug exactly at that height. So you might be inclined to install that yourself or have an electrician do it so that it's at this height. Let's say we have the holster all built in, and then you can just take it off the holster, take the entire thing away, bring all the adapters that you can, because at your destination, you never know which plug you might need. Then the great thing about this whole setup is that you only need to buy one single charger for your car. Many times people would have a dedicated home charger and a separate mobile charger that's a bit lighter. The dedicated home one is like really big and bulky, but this one can do 40 amps. And it'll fit in this case that it comes with. The outer wall is kind of hard over here, and the dimensions of this is 14 by 16 by 5 deep. Now let me plug this in and give it a go. Let me turn on the breakers up here. It starts flashing green. Start the Pion Power app. Register now for a new account. Add the device. This is the Flex AC Elite. There's a QR code right behind here, and bind it. We'll try Bluetooth pairing. The starting temperature is 73 degrees Fahrenheit for the plug and 75 degrees for the plug to charger interface. If there's a bad connection, there's extra high resistance and it gets really, really hot. It starts melting stuff. So if this senses that it's too hot, it maybe like reduces current or shut itself off or something. This can prevent things from melting before they actually do melt. Now I'll select the bottom icon to change some settings like charge current, 40 amps. You can change it incrementally by 1 amp at a time, all the way down to 1 amp. That's really cool. There's also a duration, how long you should charge for, and you can change that also by 1 hour at a time. I wish it was like a little bit more granular. Estimated charging energy. That's like how much energy you'll put in the car at 40 amps or 24 hours. Most likely we're don't need to go that many hours. The max I'll ever need is charge probably like 7 hours or so. That's 68 kilowatt hours. You can schedule to turn on charging at any one of those times in increments of 1 minute. Confirm start charging at 7:17 p.m. There are actually no buttons on this device, so when you plug it in, it's just gonna start. My car actually already has scheduled charging and I use that instead, but many times you want to be able to plug it in and it'll charge right away rather than you fiddling with the app and say, okay, I want to plug it in, and then you have to go in the app and start charging. So it's sometimes the workflow is a little bit better if it'll charge right away. So we'll see if I can set it on charge right when you plug it in. After opening, the EV charger will automatically start and stop charging according to the vehicle signal in the finished status, but not more than 3 times. Plugging in my adapter, plug it in and see if it starts on its own. I have the current limit set at 40 amps, 9.7 kilowatts. 40 amps is the maximum for this charger, so I'm gonna let it run for an hour and come back and test the temperature on all the components. We've been charging for about 57 minutes now, almost 1 hour. The plug into the wall is 113 degrees and the plug to the charger interface is 144 degrees Fahrenheit. It was charging at 10 kilowatts and a total energy delivery of 9.6 kilowatt hours. I went back and did 2 charge sessions across a 24-hour period. The voltage stays around a constant 252.5 all across that 24-hour period, and you can see 2 charging sessions at 39.7 amps, one around 6 p.m. on one day and another around 11 a.m. on the next day. The starting temperature of the plug that goes into the car is at 79 degrees Fahrenheit. The connector into the wall started off at 88 degrees Fahrenheit, and as I charged it for 1 hour, the plug reached a high of 124 degrees Fahrenheit. The male connector in the wall reached a high of 149 degrees Fahrenheit. For the shorter charge session, it didn't get as hot. The plug into the car reached 100 degrees Fahrenheit and the connector in the wall reached 126 degrees Fahrenheit. The adapter cable on the EV charger is about 90 degrees. The adapter right next to the box is 102 degrees, and the box itself is 107 degrees Fahrenheit on the upper left corner and around 100 degrees on the body. The cable is 91 degrees Fahrenheit. Keep in mind the ambient temperature is like 70 degrees or so it won't push the temperature on these cables up too much. This is portable enough so that you can just unplug it and put it in your trunk. Let me go back and unbox this and show you what's included. Nothing else in this box. I'll just remove all this. Here's the packing list. This is a little bit bigger than the Tesla style mobile charger. We have a wall handle mount, 2 different types of plugs. It's designed in a way such that it's a mobile charger and yet you can also use it at home. Slide this charger onto this cradle in the wall. On the plug side, there are a bunch of connectors here, and that mates with these dongles that comes with it. Let me plug one of them in, like so. And you need a really firm tug to remove it. This is your typical household plug, 5-15, meaning it can go up to 15 amps. This is your 14-50 plug. It can go up to 50 amps. It's 4 conductors because you got line 1, line 2, neutral, and also the ground here. So somewhat versatile. You don't get all the plugs, you get 2 of them. And on the charging end, you have a J1772 connector. I can show it to you right there. You also have a rubber cover that covers it up. There's also some kind of locking ring right here. Let me remove that. And with that removed, you can push the button. You have a 22-foot reach from the end of this cable to the charge head. Now I just took out the measuring tape and measured it from the end of this charger to the end of this charge handle here, and it's 19.5 foot. So if you add this little section 2 and the body of the charger, it's another 1.5 foot. That gives you 21 foot. And then if you add the handle, that's another 10 inches. Realistically, you can't reach 22 feet because this is going to be on the side of your car and perhaps it needs to bend 90 degrees like this. I would consider this roughly a 20-foot reach. Cable is UL listed. There are 2 8-gauge conductor insides for the main charge cables, 110 gauge and 116 gauge. The total thickness of this cable is 0.82 inches. It's a pretty beefy cable with all the insulation included. Also, it can withstand up to 105C 600 volts. So even if you use a 240 volt adapter, it's going to stay well within 600 volts. The main concern with the temperature rating, and this is quite high, is that if you charge with maximum amperage, you don't want the cable to melt. The infrared temperature readings are a little bit low because it's reading the surface temperature of all these components over here, whereas the device is reading the temperature internally. If you guys are interested in this Pion Energy EV charger, check out my affiliate link down in the video description below. Thanks for watching this video. Until next time.